when you were working in the media industry, the major one was Diced Media, which was FilterCopy.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
What did you do there exactly, and like, what was it like working in? Because when they started, when were you? Which year were you there?
I was 2018. 2018 to 2020 or 2019 half, like
Right.
that.
And that time, the media space was picking up. Online media space in India was picking up. I
Yeah.
would say.
So when I joined, okay, I'll just tell you the small story. Actually, about that, there was an era where there was a company called Witty Feed, which went to the founders went to the Shark
Correct.
Tank
We
and
covered their story as well.
stage founders.
Stage, yes.
I know the founders pretty well. Very very like I don't know if that happens with me. मैं क्या करूँगा? It's a very sad story. Wittyfeed and FilterCopy and BuzzFeed were the companies which started by doing article writing because Facebook algorithm was pushing that. You remember Facebook में articles आते थे where you used to written 10 places you should visit before you die.
Correct.
But if your boyfriend does this, then you should be doing that. Those are articles. Facebook was pushing that.
Right.
Right now you can't do because platforms decrease the rate if you're putting out an external link.
Right.
That time they were pushing that.
Yeah.
FilterCopy was doing the same thing.
Okay.
Wittyfeed was doing the same thing. However, Wittyfeed was pretty large. They started with that. Then the platform shifted. Facebook started penalizing if you are putting out an external link.
Right.
Then there was an evolution of Instagram page, and FilterCopy moved towards an era where they used to call it rapid content creation. Okay, the whole, and by the way, there are your social media agencies who used to say कि हफ्ते में एक post you should be doing. FilterCopy said screw it, we will do 1 post per day.
Wow.
Now they do 6 posts per day.
Wow. Okay.
So they said कि okay, I don't think that it makes any sense. Let's just test it out and see. And the idea was I have to democratize the content creation mechanism. What does it mean? Let's say if I have one editor, one script writer, and one this. One, the timelines will be longer. Let's say if I get one person who can do everything, pay him higher or her higher and say, ki, okay, create content, put it out.
Correct.
No permission needed from social media manager. No permission needed from social media head because the problem says brand guidelines has this thing, ki, okay, you will create content, it will go up. Someone will approve the copy, someone will
and
approve
that's a
this.
long, lengthy process.
That's a pretty lengthy process and humans are involved. Someone is on leave. It will take a longer
and
time.
creativity is also subjective. किसी को अच्छा लगा, किसी को अच्छा नहीं लगा.
Like how do you convince someone कि okay, I have put emoji here after the text and the other person says no, it should be coming at first.
And you know what, honestly, because I'm like, this is social media business for me as well, right? A lot of the micro things that we talk about ki yaar, just move the text a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, has a big impact. We know that. But then when someone like the viewer that will be listening, when they hear all of this, they're like, yaar ye kya
hai? Right. That's how FilterCopy Copy's founders came with an existing that hey, content creation does not have power. The power is in distribution. And so I remember my conversation with the founders and he was like, if you have a problem with cringe content or whatever, don't complain. If you genuinely care about it, build a distribution, try to challenge the market. That's it. And what he was saying is this, anyone having distribution, good distribution, can push any content because they have the power.
Correct.
The idea is to scale a channel is not doing what you want. That's the anti-philosophy of saying, ki, so what do? People leave profession by saying, I will do what I want.
Correct.
But the game is not doing what you want. The game is what the market wants. So you start doing what market wants, build a channel, and then you can do what you want because there are audience to check out your content. पहला वाला content में कुछ जाके randomly डालूंगा, no one is able to understand very hi-fi shots me talking about and then no one is listening. Audience नहीं है तो मैं content क्यों बना रहा हूँ? That's the point. FilterCopy was attacking that. कि we will build a data analytics company. We are a data company primarily.
Okay.
And content company second. That's the core thesis of Filter, Dice Media and every.
So just to give the audience a background, can you tell about the sort of celebrities or influencers that Dice Media actually were involved with? So
Dice Media's very famous property, if audience can relate, is Little Things. Little Things is on Netflix.
Which is Mithali and
Dhruv.
And both of them you had mentioned.
Mithila Palkar, yeah. Mithila and
yeah. And both of their stories you were talking about as well.
Yeah, they were like Dhruv was a writer. He was writing regular shows
in Dice
Media. He never thought he'll be an actor. Right now also, if you check Dhruv's podcast, he says I hate acting. मतलब नाम बन गया है तो मैं कर रहा हूँ, that's a different thing. But he's a solid writer by the way, and he reads a lot.
Right.
And Dhruv has a very strong baritone. Have you heard his voice?
Yeah, of course.
Very strong baritone. मुझे
Yeah,
लगता है
yeah,
मुझे डर लगा, काफी intimidating voice he has and everything. But yeah, they were full time working around and everything, and then this thing happened as a project. So Little Things was on YouTube. It became hit, and then Netflix eyes came, and then the deal happened.
Hit, you mean it got a lot of views and it got
a lot of views. I don't remember numbers that time because I have a funny story. I had no idea what is Little Things.
Okay.
Before my interview, on my interview date is the day I heard about FilterCopy and Dice Media. I had no idea what they are. Yeah, that's a very.
Were you not watching YouTube or something?
I think no. I was still in that music zone.
Okay.
Yeah, I was still in that music zone. I was spending a lot of time on Jio Savan or Savan, whatever the deal was that time.
Right. Jio hadn't acquired Savan back then.
So Savan and all. No, I was not a YouTube watcher. Actually, I was not watching YouTube a long time. I started this behavior of watching all the web series and everything in Dice Media as my job. As my job, I was watching like at the peak time in that COVID. I was watching 6-7 episodes per day because my watching style is different. I have to make notes.
Correct. Okay.
So I have to. So there is something called emotion graph in some companies use that.
Okay.
That is nothing but you watch a 5-minute content. You break down those content, 30 seconds content, first minute, second minute, third minute. You try to make emotion. Ki, okay, first 30 second mein which emotion they are evoking. When is the punchline coming? You do an analysis of Tanmay Bhatt, you will see a pattern. Ki punchline koi to ek time duration pe aa raha hai where it is hitting.
And that is the edits. That's how the edits are done.
That is the edits, but it is always the creator who is giving the brief. It is always the editor.
Interesting.
It is not random. It is not random.
So you're saying there is a science behind how all of these.
Correct. You watched Honestly by Tanmay Bhatt, where he the neuroscience of joke or something.
Okay.
With Sid Warrior. पूरा बोला हुआ है उसने. पूरा बोला हुआ है. Punch ups, punch down में क्यों attack होता है? How do you craft a setup? And how do you drop it down? There is a method.
हम us as a viewer are just like कि यार ये तो मतलब हाँ stage में जाके joke.
इसीलिए not everyone should be a content creator. Simple है. बहुत वैसे भी fight है.
Correct.
I think मतलब that's how you are separated ना. Like for an example, let's say Karan Johar does not make the kind of movie that you think he should be making for Netflix, but he makes more revenue. तो उसको बिजनेस मॉडल सही से पता है. रोहित शेट्टी नोज बिजनेस मॉडल कि अच्छा ये फॉर्मूला है. रोहित शेट्टी का क्लियर फॉर्मूला यू विल ऑलवेज सी. मल्टी स्टारर दिस एंट्री करो, ये पैसा निकालो, खत्म. अक्षय कुमार हैज अ सिमिलर मॉडल कि अच्छा वॉल्यूम बढ़ा दो एंड एवरीवन. So everyone is playing a different game. So either you are a content first or you are a distribution first. You decide. So TVF is a very content creation wala company. Like you will love the creatives they do.
Right.
Pocket Aces is a very solid distribution wala company.
Got it.
But every company has a basic thesis and philosophy that they follow. Every company. And every creator actually. Every creator.
Interesting.
अभी रणवीर अलाहाबादिया का एक पैटर्न नोटिस करोगे. ये नोटिस किया. Do you follow him?
No, yeah, sort of, yeah.
I used to follow him for the content, not exactly content, the guest.
Right.
I would say.
Right.
Because उसी के लिए तो देख रहे हैं actually. But one interesting pattern I saw, you notice किया है that he started increasing the volume of that cult Bhutiya stories and all.
Yes.
Notice किया है.
Yes, of
Spike
course.
किया है. That is getting the more views.
Of course.
He can syndicate that to a Kuku FM or a Pocket FM or sell it to a Radio FM. Radio FM वाले आपका ये वाला नहीं खरीदेंगे ना. Let's say you are talking about a war, the Kargil war people and all. 1 घंटा कौन सुन रहा है रेडियो पे उसको? But आप भूतिया उनको बेच सकते हो. So my at least perspective is one, he knows कि
he's
India
preparing the product to be sold to.
He is preparing the product to be sold. Second, that gets you distribution. Simple. मतलब आपको लगे cringe दूर की बात है.
But as long as you're getting views.
Simple.
And that's the fundamental reasoning behind like people who are just following trends getting popular as well.
Correct.
As a viewer, you will be like कि यार ये क्या cringe
क्या
चल
कर
रहा
रहा
है.
Correct.
But then they are at the end of the day getting their distribution and monetizing it.
I think cringe is a very very wrong word. देखो cringe का word ना किसी को पता नहीं था. ठीक है. ये TikTok के time पे people started saying कि cringe and hence everyone ये terminology में आ गया है.
Correct.
I don't feel any content is cringe. I feel that either the content is relevant or irrelevant. That's it.
Right.
And the relevancy is only subjective. It is not mass irrelevancy. And content ka aisa hai na, there is always an audience for every kind of content.
Correct.
You have to just reach that content. Correct. Don't make for masses. Kuch issue nahi hai.
Correct.
So I have stopped hating on content creators because I know for a fact that they must be having a different subjective view. Like let's say, why are you doing this? If I ask you, you must be having a subjective view. I may not agree. Let's say, but you know कि okay ये मेरा audience है, मैं इसके लिए कर रहा हूँ. That's it.
Interesting. In FilterCopy when you were working, what was your role there and what did you do exactly?
So there is a role called growth. ठीक है. अब ऐसी बात है कि growth is a very new role in India, but growth is a very famous role in Silicon Valley. वो बाहर से आया हुआ है. ठीक है. Like for an example, the new age marketers in Facebook were called growth engineers. ये मार्क का I would say revolutionary idea था. वो बंदे ने बहुत कुछ किया है. मतलब he has invented stuff and उनका idea ये था, let's take a physicist, teach him creativity and put him into marketing role and he will kill it. And the result was tagging option that Facebook had is a growth inventor wala cheez.
Interesting. Okay.
What tagging function does? There is something called network effect. Network effect is basically this, that if I have to become famous, where you tell my name to 5 people, then the best way is I will send you a big cake to your office and what will happen is 10 लोग ऑफिस में पूछेंगे किसने भेजा है, you will say Sindhu. Fastest way. ठीक है. But if I send you a personal note, दूसरों को नहीं पता चलेगा. So it's called network effect. This is a 1-to-1 network effect. That is 1 to many. Tagging is 1 to many.
Got it.
Because when I give you the option to tag, and you remember people were using myself chilling on the hills were 60 others. मतलब लोगों ने misuse तो किया है.
Correct.
But then you opened up yourself to 60 others. That gave you that idea around that. That is marketing. Marketing ने कभी नहीं बोला कि okay, you have to put a standee everywhere and a billboard everywhere to crack it. You can do it via tech.
Can be very simple things. Like that.
Very simple things via tech. So that's how it started. I joined Pocket Aces because the founder said कि okay, we want to build a growth team. India में ये attempt नहीं हुआ in the content space. And the idea is to put data to build viral systems, processes, to predict virality, decrease a lot of cost and increase the output. That is the very simple definition. हिंदी में अगर बोलूँ बहुत सिंपल भाषा में सिंपल है. मेरे आने से पहले अगर एक वेब सीरीज़ 1 million व्यूज़ कर रहा था, मेरे आने के बाद कैन आई डिक्रीज द कॉस्ट एंड मेक इट अ 5 million व्यूज़. सिंपल. एंड उसके लिए सीधा मार्केटिंग का दिमाग नहीं लगता है. पीपल कॉल इट ग्रोथ हैकिंग माइंडसेट. आप उल्टे पुल्टे दिमाग वाले लगाते हो उस पर. जुगाड़ू दिमाग लगाते हो उस पर. लाइक रैंडम एग्जाम्पल, content so social media management और marketing is different than content creation. ठीक है. Content creation is a part of social media marketing क्योंकि social media के अंदर ORM आता है, online reputation management, comment check करना, ये करना वो करना. Let's say if I want to grow my channel, one way is कि content डालो, और the second way can be, let's say मैं content को कम कर दूँ और मान लो कि all the pages with less following मैं उनके comment पे उनके picture पे कुछ ऐसा comment लिखूँ जहाँ पे they are forced to pin my comment. So I get more visibility.
Right.
ये हुआ उल्टा दिमाग इस पे.
Interesting.
कि ज़रूरी नहीं है मैं बहुत लोगों के नज़र में आऊँ by just creating content. I can do interesting comments also. There is a page on social media called on Instagram called Commenter. जो interesting comments उठाता है उसको picture में डालता है. Have you checked that?
Yeah.
You have checked that? It's a pretty big page right now.
Yeah.
You will sometime wonder comments पे कौन page बनाता है.
Correct.